The SailGP Christchurch event was dominated on the first day by a Dolphin on the course, and its presence stopped the racing. The 22,000 audience had their attendance money returned by the organisers. Day 2 was filled with drama. The Australians suffered the most when they crashed over a piece of SailGP furniture. Here is a clip from Emirates GBR.
Well, here we go, it's heightened on board, it's tight in the middle. Oh, there could be a collision in the middle of the line there. All the boats start to turn, but they've got to keep clear of Australia there on board. Canada, big contact. What, that was unthinkable there.
Yeah, today was a full-on day. There's a bit of damage out there on a couple boats. A few teams joined us with some penalty points. From our perspective, we were racing really well, particularly in the first 2 races. A little bit frustrating to lose a couple positions with being nicely in the top 3, I think, in both races at one point or another. And then, yeah, we're a little bit down on ourselves for our last race, but there's a lot of positives we can take from this weekend and a lot to build on. So, yeah, as ever, looking forward to the next one.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, March 29, 2024. Last year saw the inaugural Sydney to Auckland Yacht Race organised by Sydney's Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club. The biannual race's next edition is in 2025. Now another Sydney Sailing Club has announced its intention to also run a race to Auckland in 2025. That means there will be 2 Sydney to Auckland, 2,155-mile yacht races, within 7 months of each other. We wonder what was behind that sort of thinking. When an international yacht race is contemplated, usually it is a one-off, and lots of money, time, thought and checking is required. This went on with the Royal Prince Alfred and Royal Akarana Yacht Club's Sydney to Auckland Yacht Race. Originally scheduled to be run in 2020, to coincide with the America's Cup in Auckland, it was rescheduled when the pandemic hit and New Zealand closed down. The rescheduled date was for 2023, and it was very successful, albeit with reduced numbers, but as it was originally programmed as a biannual event, it was expected that there would be a larger number of entries in 2025. So a few weeks ago, we were surprised to be advised that another Sydney-based yacht club had announced that they were conducting a yacht race between Sydney and Auckland, to be held in February 2025 ahead of the existing race in October. In a minority sport, having 2 races in between 2 lightly populated sailing countries, it is difficult to see the rationale for multiple races from the same port to the same destination, in the same year. Or is there another agenda? Gathering strength around the waterfront in Australia are unconfirmed whispers of a group looking to promote a race from Sydney to Hobart for unrestricted multi-hull yachts. The race, starting on December 26 in the afternoon from Sydney, after the monohull race start. There is huge interest in multi-hull racing, after the recent Arkia Ultim Round the World race, and there are the Mod 70s, Gunboat 80s and other huge cruising multi-hulls which would make a fantastic sight in Sydney Harbour. So, in 2025, there will be 2 yacht races from Sydney to Auckland, the new one in February, unfortunately during the officially classified Pacific cyclone season, or with the original race organisers, in October. Day 3 of the 2024 Etchells World Championships brought a new level of frustration for the 40 competing boats, with light and shifty conditions across the racecourse all afternoon. Tensions were as high as the thermometer as the fleet was met with an oscillating and unsettled breeze. For Race 5, the race committee set a course of 1.6 nautical miles and aimed for a duration of 60 to 70 minutes. Magpie, Graham Taylor, James Mayo, and Richard Allenson managed to outsmart the conditions and claim their second bullet of the regatta, pushing them ahead of the fleet.
That's it. Way in, few schooners, and see how we go tomorrow. Yeah, it was a tricky day. We had a pretty decent day winning the first race. pretty easily, but still quite stressful. Second race we sort of coughed it up down the first run, which was a bit annoying, but you know, I'm sure there's many more stories of woe out there. I don't think anyone would have been on the right side of that all day today, so we're really happy with, you know, how today went, and you know, to keep, you know, circulating, you know, close to the top or on the top, just, you know, puts us in good shape for the rest of the regatta. So, you know, we're looking forward to tomorrow, and hopefully we can get out there and get the job done. It's like anywhere you go, you've got to race in what you're given, and that's what we've been given. So, you know, we did travel 4,000 kilometres across the country to come over for the doctor and beautiful sea breezes, and we've got like sailing on Sydney Harbour and a westerly, but anyway, we'll just deal with it, and you know, we're enjoying ourselves and working hard, and you know, we're happy with how the boat's going, so see what happens.
Well, we were on the lifts instead of on the nocks compared to race one. I tell you what, it was brutal out there. Massive shifts. So some cases, air coming down from the heavens, you know, auto tack. You're laying in the mark on one. This is going upwind. You're laying in the mark on one tack, and then boom, you're laying it on another tack. But we were on the right side of the shift second race, and that were able to play the game, which is terrific. Oh, look, it's just the quality of the competition, the quality of the people. You know, it's fabulous, you know, from all around the world here in Fremantle. And it is just one of these red hot boats, you know, you cross someone by half a metre, you know, and that's a big clearance, you know, going upwind. So the competition is sensational. It's the best one design racing in Australia, you know, from my perspective. And, you know, because the Olympics are really offshore, they travel around the world, so we don't really see that. So the Etchells tends to be the Olympic class in the non-Olympic years, except that we have, you know, obviously the Olympic Games, you know, this year around. But the competition, you know, the people, the young people on these boats, they're very, very good operators, and they're very, very keen from, you know, spread throughout the fleet. And we're getting a lot more girls involved too, which is great. And those girls, you know, they swim the boats, and they're not holding back, you know, they're doing everything. So it's just a pleasure to be involved, yeah.
Emirates Team New Zealand were out on the rugged waters of the Hauraki Gulf in the area the Kiwis call the back paddock. Their next generation of outstanding New Zealand foiling talent shone in windy conditions, with the breeze clocking 20 knots at times.
Day 72 for Team New Zealand with LEQ12 and the AC40. Here chatting to Ray. Talk us through the day. Good day out there?
Yeah, no, great day out there. Pretty awesome conditions. We sort of average maybe 16 knots, gusts of 20. Pretty much flat water. We went down to the back paddock, and it was great to have the two boats interacting and getting some of the youth and women on board as well. So it's really good to give them the chance to get upskilled and what you'd call upper range conditions for sure.
Yep. Yeah, it must be really nice to get two boats back on the water and have someone to play with, basically. Moving forward for the week, is there looking to do more of that, pre-starts, etc.?
Yeah, no, definitely keen to do a bit more two boating. Quite windy tomorrow, so we'll have a look at that. Maybe a bit too fresh, but definitely try to get out a couple more times this week, and then ramp up into some racing, put some marks in. But you know, today was more about giving some people a go for the first time, and you know, pretty awesome to have, you know, 18 knots and a couple of first timers ripping around. So yeah, really good to see.
Yeah, brilliant. From the bit that I saw today, it looked really controlled, especially for the first timers. So you can't really complain with that. Progress with the big boat. Looking forward to moving into that. Is that the next stage after?
Yeah, look, obviously it's a very busy time for all of the teams at the moment, and you know, to come back up to Auckland and be sailing straight after that SailGP yesterday, and then today, amazing conditions. Obviously flat out getting boat 3 ready for launch, and it's all tracking on time to our schedule, so really exciting times. Can't wait to get that out there. But you know, we'll just focus on a little two boating session, and then finish off the commissioning of boat 3 and get that in the water shortly.
Day 3 of the 2024 Formula Kite European Championship came as a bit of a shock to the system. With the wind gusting close to 30 knots at times, the decision was whether to go for an 11 square meter kite or maybe even change down to the rarely used 8 and 9 square meter options. Whereas the lighter breezes see a monotone of identical fly surfer kites in the sky, today produced a rainbow of multiple colors as riders unpacked their lesser used small kites from brands like Ozone and F1.
Normally we'll use only the 11 meter kite size as the smallest, but we could also register the 9 meter on top of the 11. So a lot of people wouldn't use the 9. Mostly the guys would not even register the 9, but I think most of the women do register the 9 meter and maybe use it for today's racing. The thing with the 9 is that just downwinds are hard. Like it's just a tiny, it's like a tiny mosquito, the 9 meter. Of course, it's nice when it's super windy, but most of the times you struggle downwind, you don't have as much power. The biggest one for us is 21, and for the men normally 23. Feels like a truck on the highway, and then the small one is maybe more like a sports car. The small one doesn't feel much of a sports car. It's quick and well, I mean, it's easy to use. It flies super quickly in the maneuvers. Sometimes, like, it will go away. Like, if you want it to turn quick, it will turn quicker than you actually have time to turn with the kite. So it's super fast. I think I prefer the bigger kites, but I'm pretty even with all the. I don't really have a personal favorite, unless like mostly 11 to 21, not the 9 meter.
The Royal Prine Alfred Yacht Club's Pittwater to Coffs Harbour Line honours went to excess moment with Jupiter winning the overall honours. Fortune favoured the sticklers in the 2024 Pittwater to Coffs Harbour Yacht Race, just 3 entries hung on in the light to non-existent breezes, Ray Hudson's excess moment taking line honours, just after midnight, while the two-handed crew of Ian Smith and Billy Sykes, on Jupiter, crossed the line second to claim overall honours. It was an extremely slow start to the Pittwater to Coffs Harbour Yacht Race at 1 p.m, with the fleet still bobbing around the Barrenjoey Headland start line at Pittwater as spectators left the course. In the end, fortune favoured the sticklers in the 2024 Pittwater to Coffs Harbour Yacht Race, just 3 entries hung on in the light to non-existent breezes, Ray Hudson's excess moment taking line honours just after midnight, while the two-handed crew of Ian Smith and Billy Sykes on Jupiter crossed the line second to claim overall honours. The final boat to finish the Royal Prince Alfred Yacht Club's 38th running of the race, Transcendence Rudy Project, was sailed two-handed by the father-son combination of Martin and John Cross. They finished nearly an hour after Jupiter in 2 days 18 hours 7 minutes 22 seconds. All 3 crews are to be lauded for the courage of their convictions in finishing the protracted race while all others gave it away, mainly due to work commitments. XS Moment, and XP44 design, finished the race to Coffs Harbour at 00.36.38 hours in the time of 2 days 11 hours 36 minutes 38 seconds. For her cruise efforts, XS Moment's crew were rewarded with 3rd overall and a Division 1 win. We were actually near the top of leaderboard when the retirement started, so we decided to give it a bit more time and thought, stuff it, we'll hang in, Ray Hudson said. James Mayer, 1999, and Richard Allenson, 2019, have previously won the Etchells World Championships, but this is the first time in 20 years that Graham Taylor can claim the honor. Sailing a US 1486 Magpie, the trio were ecstatic when they crossed the finish line of the final race. Taylor was on board Andu Comanche when they had the line honours win ripped away from them in the final moments of the Rolex Sydney Hobart Yacht Race after Law Connect rolled them at the finish, so this win brings something extra special for him.
I had 2 poached eggs and some bacon, 3 double espressos to fire myself up.
So do you reckon that's the kind of breakfast that makes world champions?
Oh, must be. Hey, how good's that? You know, we wanted to start to the right of him so we could control him. And thank God the wind went right. We did a little step up and got into a point to control him. And then, you know, the first run was pretty close, but, you know, our job was just to make sure he didn't get to 3rd. And we didn't really have to do much because he sort of ended up on the wrong side of the track. So, you know, I don't know where we finished, but we probably got back inside 12 anyway. So, which is all that we had to do. He's obviously a very good sailor, and we've really enjoyed sailing against him this week. He's done a fabulous job. I've been sailing with James Mayo and Richie Allenson, and really the whole project has just been to leave no stone unturned. And you know, both the boys have just put their absolute all into it. And you know, from their boat is immaculate. Our sails are immaculate. You know, everything. You know, we have everything you can possibly ask for, we have. So we're very lucky and fortunate to be able to do it that way. And you know, I thank James for providing that. And you know, Richie he's just like, he is the ultimate workhorse. He just works his absolute butt off to get the job done. And you know, during these events you learn a lot about each other and how we're all different. And you know, that's been an interesting journey as well. But you know, hey, I love both the guys, and to win the World Championship here in Australia, you know, there's nothing, you know, nothing better that, you know, you could hope for. So, you know, I'm absolutely thrilled, especially after losing the Hobart race on Comanche by 30 seconds. That was pretty tough. I think the first thing we said when we went across the line down there is let's not lose the Etchells Worlds and make it a double whammy. We'll savour it and party long into the night and, you know, enjoy it. You know, it's not every day. You know, it's the first you know, World Championship I've won. I've had 3 seconds, a third, and every other place between 10 and 20. I've been sailing these boats for 20 years, so, you know, 25 years. So, you know, it's not an easy event to win, and to actually finally win one, I'm over the moon. Good.
No matter how much the standard of the fleet improves, Max Marder continues to be very hard to catch. That was the conclusion from the first day of Gold Fleet racing on day 4 of the 2024 Formula Kite European Championship, in Mar Menor, Spain. The 17-year-old from Singapore has been setting the standard in men's kitefoiling for the best part of 2 years, and after winning all 4 of today's heats, it's Marder who continues to push the bar higher.
I think it's incredible that the girls have bought into pushing towards that medal in the summer as a collective. I think they see it as a collective effort for the last 4 years, and they're willing to give us another little bit of push towards that medal. And if you're training every day with excellence, you can't help but get better.
I feel that them learning together, bonding together has helped. I think also there's quite a bit of competitiveness within the squad as well, which is good. The girls work hard. They're all very different characters, but they've got the same kind of goals. they had the backup of their federation. And yeah, they're an amazing bunch of ladies.
We started this journey together. We've all become such good friends in the process. We want to really finish it strong, and we want it to be a product of how hard we've all worked together and kind of pushing together as a squad, and we want that to reflect in the result in Paris.
We have always said that whoever gets selected, the rest of the squad would support up to the games, and I think we would all stand by that.
If you're in the British sailing team, it's tough. Like we're the best sailing nation in the world, and you know that if you get to go to the games, it's a real honour, because there's so many great people that you're always competing against in every class. Hopefully Ellie's going to go get a medal for us, and so we can all, carry on with funding, carry on being great.
I'm really lucky that all of the other girls are carrying on, and I'm really grateful. I mean, I've obviously been selected for the Olympics, so they're not actually working towards the Olympics anymore, but they're still working towards helping me at the Olympics. So it's really nice to have a squad to train against and push each other. I mean, we're all right up at the top, and you can see that from all the results and everything, and it's just really, it's nice.
She has a very good chance of getting the gold medal, and we're all right behind her.
Huge congratulations to our Isles and Oceans on its first place, and UNICEF, who took the second place spot on Race 9, Sailing City, Qingdao Cup. With a carnival of colour and celebration, there is no welcome ceremony like a Qingdao welcome ceremony.
Dream come true, really, to have won a leg and to be in such an amazing port to win it into. As always, the rest of the teams put up the best fight possible right till the end, from the very beginning. I mean, UNICEF just fighting them the whole time. Just the wind happened to go in our favour this time, and I'm sure we'll be at it again.
Amazing 10, 11 days. It was a tough start, beating up wind, just being on the boat, and then being second, and then going into first. Like, it's been amazing. So just incredible, absolutely awesome. Loved every minute of it.
Welcome to the welcome ceremony of the Clipper Race.
The city, Qingdao, which has the best welcome. We kind of worked hard. As soon as we got the leads, we held onto it. There was kind of wind holes, there was kind of upwind sailing, there was frustration. It's just like, this has like been a goal for a long time.
We've just arrived in Qingdao with a second place on the race, so it's our first second place of this edition and our third podium overall, so we're super happy. It means we've podiumed on a third of the races we've done so far, I think, which is fantastic.
One for all!
It was a pretty crazy race. We had all kinds of conditions. We had lots of wind, not a lot of wind, with really bumpy sea conditions and really flat. It was really challenging, especially for the new joiners coming straight in with 4 days of hard upwind. But we've done really well to come first in the scoring gate and second in on the podium into Qingdao, so couldn't be happier really with that result.
Tough, fun, and the crew has been working really hard, and it's been so intense, fighting for the top spot all the way. Started a bit slow, but then we've been up in first, second, back and forth. It's been so amazing. Really nice sailing. It's really pleasant to be here in Qingdao now. And we're really looking forward to a couple of days off.
看到各位参加者参演呢，都非常的兴奋，非常的高兴。